Now, as we said earlier, to understand how these recent developments on the anomalous flood control projects may affect public perception of the government, we turn to Dr. Dennis Coronacion, Chairman of the USC's Department of Political Science, for the second time. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Can you hear us okay?
Hi, Doc.
Yes, loud and clear. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Magandang umaga rin sa mga taga-subaybay.
Doc, we were talking kanina when we were trying to get through to you. Kasi sa Indonesia na punong-puno na ang mga citizenry sa corruption, and now you see these flood control projects left and right. Mga politicians nagagalit, kala mo ngayon lang nangyayari, ang sabi nila. And every time umuulan, bumabalik na naman ang galit ng mga Pilipino dahil nakikita nila yung nangyayari. No, so how do you think all of this, what's happening, is this leading to a possible boiling point in the near future?
Well, if there's anything, if we're going to compare the case of the Indonesians with the Filipinos and their respective levels of tolerance towards their political leaders, malaki yung pinagkaiba, no? Obviously, the Indonesians are not very tolerant of the corrupt practices of their political leaders, while Filipinos, I don't know, baka we've already become manhid, we've already become tolerant of these bad behaviors of our political leaders. I don't know if it's going to reach to a point that we're going to follow what the Indonesians are doing right now. Pero maganda yun, tingin ko if that's going to have any good impact on the Indonesian government, matatakot yung mga leaders nila na magpatuloy sa kanilang mga corrupt practices. Pero sa atin naman, yung level of tolerance natin, yung high level of tolerance sa mga Filipinos, tingin ko mas lalo pang nakakapagpalakas ng loob ng ating mga political leaders na gumawa ng mga kalokohan.
Gusto ko itanong, Doc, sabi mo tolerance, is it tolerance or desensitized na lang ang Pilipino? Parang it's a new normal. Like, for example, you'll see people in offices take home a pencil that belongs to the company and doesn't think that it's a small form of corruption. So parang naging, it's normal. Is it parang normalized?
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you po na I think it has become a norm. It has become normalized in our society. Hindi lang yung yung mga maliliit na bagay like bringing home yung mga office equipment, office tools, and thinking na okay lang yon. Meron pa iba yung mga humingi ng pabor sa mga kamag-anak nila who are government.
Palakasan system.
Yeah, palakasan.
Yeah.
Yung mga gano'n, mapakihugot mo naman yung lisensya ko, nahuli ako eh. So,
hugutin mo.
Di ba? So, mga gano'n small favors being asked from our government employees, public officials, they're all indicating that corruption is being in whatever form is being tolerated in the Philippines.
All right, so more than the hearings that we are watching recently, hearings from House of Representatives, hearings from the Senate, ang mas na-highlight ngayon dito, Prof, ang nakakita ko yung public outrage, through posting sa social media. Is it right, you think, na pati daw yung mga kamag-anak, mga anak ng linked contractors na to sa anomalous flood control projects na to ay dinadamay? Kasi there is an ongoing debate right now na, of course, sabi ng ganun, isama yan sila because sila kamag-anak. Pangalawa, sabi no, they shouldn't be involved. O kumbaga, wag silang i-bully online. And there are other proper venue, diba, for this discourse.
Well, it depends on what we are after, no? If we're after ending corruption, I think it's going to be a legal matter. So ang hanapin dyan is those people who got involved in the corrupt practices.
Yeah.
So most likely the public officials. Now, insofar as their relatives are concerned, if they're not in any way involved in government contracts, labas sila doon. Oo. Yung legal aspect, hindi sila kasali. Yung mga cases that would be filed, hindi sila kasali. Kung yun ay hindi sila ginamit, for example, as dummies in any company na kasabwat doon sa sa mga control projects, mga anomalous. Pero siguro from the moral point of view, mali pa rin sila. yung mga kamag-anak na yan, mga family members
Yes,
who
oo.
benefit from the corrupt practices of their, say for example, congressman father, mayor na ano, di ba? Yung mga kamag-anak niya,
Yeah.
Kamag-anak
ano,
Incorporated.
oo, hindi siya magandang tingnan eh. Lalo na pag fino-flaunt yung wealth
That's right.
ng mga nepo babies.
Ayun, yun. Pero
Oo,
in relation
hindi
to that,
dapat.
Doc, yung sabi mo, Nepo babies, di ba? I'd like to ask you now, with all of this that is happening, do you now see a shift in social behavior? Because let's face it, for the last decade or so, ang kalakaran sa social media is pagandahan tayo ng mga gamit na ipopost. Ngayon, parang may backlash na kahit hindi ka involved in any government contract, you're posting something magarbo. Ano ka, Nepo baby? Very negative na sa mga rich. So it's like parang nagiging populista, like populist institution or yung mga communist behavior na supposedly, pag mayaman ka, hindi ka, ano ka may mali sa'yo eh. Do you see this shift in the social behavior?
Tingin ko po because of this issue about the flood control projects, I think itong mga nepo babies, itong mga those who can afford such kind of lifestyle, magiging maingat na sila, no? Although the norm that's being ushered in by social media, lalo na Instagram, is to flaunt your wealth, flaunt your lifestyle. Pero mukhang hindi na, given this new development. Baka mas magiging maingat na sila. Rather than flaunting your wealth, flexing your wealth, baka itago na lang nila, no? Kasi nga, because of the fear that those social media posts might be used later on as evidence against them.
Tama. Tama.
Okay. O kaya kahit na object ng hatred ng mga tao. Di ba? Kahit ngayon, I remember one celebrity na engineer. Sabi niya, engineer nga ako, pero hindi mo nakinabang sa mga government projects na yan. So parang nag-gain siya ng pagkarami-raming likes, ano?
Pero yun nga po, no, doon sa mga nangyayari ng mga hearings pa rin tungkol dito sa mga anomalous flood control project, nakikita natin itong mga ilang mga politicians, no? Kumbaga sila yung heading the way, of paving the way on these investigation. Do you think nakakadagdag ba sa public outrage yung nakikita nila itong mga politicians na to, and some of them are may mga kaso pa rin na tungkol sa corruption?
Yes, so po maraming issues with regard to lawmakers investigating the flood control projects, the anomalous flood control projects. Number one, there's the question of moral ascendancy. Since we know very well that most of them are involved in this government project. So it's like, yung sabi nga nila, yung magnanakaw, iniimbestigahan yung kapwa magnanakaw. Oo, that's one. Parang at saka there's also the danger of yung whitewash.
Yes.
There's that risk na since sila magtatakipan. Yun na nga, lumabas na nga kahapon eh. There's this question of whether or not the House of Representatives in their investigation, whether or not to invite congressmen as resource persons.
That's right. Oh, yeah. So do you agree then, Prof, Doctor, no, na the most prudent approach is one that is suggested by PBBM himself, di ba? Para hindi rin siya mag-iimbestiga because may moral question din daw. Yung Truth Commission. So do you think this is a good idea? Plus, in Truth Commission, it's different people from different organizations like the church, di ba? So is that a more prudent approach?
Yes, I think so. I agree with that. Basta hindi lang yung the composition or the members should not be made up of politicians. Kasi there's a danger of if this is made up of politicians, baka mag-grandstanding gamitin sa susunod na election, o kaya baka nga may protection na ng mga interest. So we are definitely in favor of a truth commission that's made up mainly of representatives from various sectors, preferably from NGOs, the legal community.
So all civilians. Doc, paano si Mayor Magalong? Medyo parang napupusuan siya to be part of it. Medyo maganda naman ang reception sa kanya ng tao.
Well, kasi maganda naman ang track record ni Mayor Magalong. Except that ang problema is that he's a politician himself.
Yeah.
Mahirap na hindi naman sa pinagdududahan natin si Mayor Magalong, pero by 2028 tatakbo rin siya. I don't know kung ano lang position, pero tatakbo yan.
I was wondering, Prof, if, what would make you believe that this is really the era of cleansing, eradicating corruption, era of transparency and accountability?
Well, because this, you know that this was started by the president during his SONA. Nagbigay siya ng yung kanyang remarks na which became popular. Maya naman kayo, something like that. Tapos pinick up ng tao. So, kumagaman, the initiative is not just coming from up there, but it has already gained traction from the grassroots level. So, pinick up, and I think these two things are, I think, necessary ingredients para magtuloy-tuloy ito, no? Kasi we are interested not just because we want to know the names, but we want to see those people responsible to get prosecuted, and
Yes.
eventually, if the evidence of guilt is strong, makulong. Dapat
Yeah.
makulong.
Yeah.
Sa paglustay ng pera ng bayan,
Yeah.
Ako iniisip ko every time I watch these investigations, iniisip ko yan yung taxes ko eh. Ang laki
Yes,
na binabalik sa sweldo ko.
Exactly. So kasi sinasabi nga nila, 'di ba, kung walang mananagot at the end of the day, walang ma-hold accountable on these investigations, all of these are just grandstanding. Pero
Yes.
sinasabi nga po nila, si President Bongbong Marcos nagsabi magpapa-lifestyle check sa mga government officials. And a lot of people are saying that, why don't you do it yourself? Also, pangunahan mo na magpa-lifestyle check ka. Parang ginawa ngayon ng mga akbayan, no? Sa akbayan, nag-release sila publicly nung kanilang SALN. So, being the leader of this country, pangunahan mo na. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that. Kaya nga lang, of course, that's a huge challenge on the part of the president.
Why?
Well,
Do I need to ask that question? Go ahead. Go ahead, Prof.
On the spot siya si Prof.
well, part naman ng history ng natin, bansa natin,
Yes.
that the Marcos family has gained a reputation for
I think not only reputation because there are
For
decision na from the Supreme Court.
Yeah, supposedly ill-gotten wealth. Diretso na natin.
You got in well.
Yeah,
Oo.
Pero the president
So-
is not part of it, although he is the administrator of the estate. But in relation to that, kasi, Doc, I don't know what the outcome of these hearings, if may magbabago. I wanted to ask you this because in 1986, we've had enough already of corruption and bad leadership. Nag-boil over into EDSA revolution, and we thought changes would happen. Diba? And here we are with the Marcos in power, who is trying to clean up corruption, the very corruption that we fought. And until now, there is corruption. Walang nangyari, walang nagbago since then. So do you think this is another chance that we should capitalize on finally, na sana this is it, na ulitin natin, or another event that will be forgotten in 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, that's a paradox of our history, no? Several years ago, we tried to cleanse our government of corrupt politicians through EDSA 1 at we succeeded. Tapos after how many decades naman, we're back. Andito na naman tayo. And the person who is leading the anti-corruption drive is the son of the person that became the object of EDSA 1. So napaka-ironic nun. Pero alam niyo, yung mga ganyang klase mga ironies, sometimes they can be good for us. Kasi this can be good for the president kasi nga it's high time for him to prove to the Filipino nation na yung Marcos family can also do something good for the country. Hindi lang yung nakaraan na hindi maganda. Kaya rin lang baligtarin yung kanilang yung perception about them. Kaya lang linisin yung and this is the right opportunity for Marcos Sr. to do that.
Payback kay PBBM for him.
Yeah. Balikan ka namin, Prof, kapag meron ng
Medyo
nakulong.
Now, on the
At
seat,
hindi nakalaya pagpalit ng administrasyon.
nasa hot seat na si Prof.
Alright, maraming salamat po, Jago.
Thank you for your insights, Doc Dennis Coronacion, Chairman of the UST's Department of Political Science.